In this chapter, we'll talk about creating buyer's closing costs for your buyer. So, your buyer's excited. They found a property that they think they might be interested in putting an offer on. How do you prepare them for the costs that are involved? Well, if you have the listing sitting in front of you, you could come to the B $ icon. When you hover over it, it says buyer closing cost. And when you click on it, it's going to open a separate tab with the buyer estimated closing cost sheet. Now, because we came directly from a listing, it's already knowing the property that you're talking about, so it started auto-filling the details from the MLS sheet and also from the public records. You can also access the buyer closing costs under the finance menu, buyer closing costs. And that's going to allow you to start with a blank slate. You can always use the autofill from address form to search for the address of the property, or if you have the listing ID or MLS number handy, you can pop that in and use that to search as well. The required fields are indicated over here on the left, though I would encourage you to fill out as much information as you have. You'll need to include a estimated settlement date in order for the calculator to do some estimations with regard to prorating taxes. We'll also want to fill in the interest rate. And then if they're going to ask for any seller's assist, you can fill in those additional details as well. And you really just kind of want to walk through the form itself. There are tons of fields included in here, but again, the only required ones are indicated over here on the left with the red word required and the asterisk. So coming down the page, you'll want to fill in what type of mortgage they're going to be using. And you'll see that'll shift the fields that are included. Mortgage insurance, origination fees, other closing costs. If you have this information, it's great to include it because it'll let you be really detailed, really specific with your buyer. But again, it's not required. So if you prefer to be a little more loose with the information, especially if this is just an early stage where you're giving them an idea of what their potential costs would be, their payments, etc., you don't necessarily have to fill it all in. But here's our information that was prorated for us. Over here on the right-hand column, you'll see that as you add or change information, it'll change on the fly with you. And our ending numbers are our estimated cash needed to purchase and our estimated cash needed at settlement. When you're ready to share this with a client, you can do so by clicking the email button or the print. If you're somebody who uses maybe a dot loop or another product where you obtain electronic signatures, when you select print from the preview tab, you'll see that there'll be an option under destination where you can save as PDF. That's the default for me, but if you click the change button here, it'll let you choose that as an option if it's not the default for you. I'll also mention that you can save this in case you think you might be doing a couple of these or you just want to have it for posterity. You can associate it with an individual contact if you'd like to do so. I can add this to my contact Lisa, or I can just name this and I can indicate some way that I'll remember it later and save it. If I need to reference this later, you would use the load button in order to load this again. Here's the one that I just saved. I would click view edit in order to load that information.